Hi, my name is Jim Turner. I did a podcast earlier. This is kind of a follow-up. So I came out and checked on my bees around noon, and they were in their 4 o'clock navigational flight. I was thinking, this is kind of important for especially new beekeepers, because if they see this happen multiple times in a day, stops and then it goes, one might think, am I bee swarming out? Do I need to do something? I go in that frantic mode. I know I've been there, couldn't figure out what's going on. Well, what is happening? So, what I witnessed was a navigational swarm or flight happen around noon, which is rare. They usually do it around 4ish. And then after about 30 minutes, so I didn't know what was going on, they were all done. So about 1, that was over, or less. And here it is, 4 o'clock. They're doing their 4 o'clock one. So what happened was, yesterday, it was cold. It was cold, and they didn't want to go. I ain't going out. No, we're staying in today. We're not gonna go out in the cold to navigate. Maybe tomorrow, right? And so, so yesterday's navigation didn't happen. There was a few, but it wasn't a big one, and so a lot of them chose to stay in. And so the yesterday's which would have been those girls navigating yesterday, they did it around noonish. Well, these girls, they're already set to go at 4. So yesterday's went at noon from the previous day, and this is today's. This is when this group would normally go on their navigational flight, come out for the first time. It was actually bigger just a little while ago. I came out here and it was much bigger than this, and it's died down since then. It took me that long to come in and get my phone and come here and set it up, and yeah, it was about 3-4 times bigger than what you see right now. Yeah, just that time to go get my phone, they were already winding down, doing their navigational flight. So I'm still noticing girls checking out my baited nukes. They're still going in there, exploring. So I'm just thinking maybe yesterday put a dampener on their desire to swarm out from wherever they're going. So now they're like going around reassessing the hives, my baited nukes. I just saw one go into my big brood box, and I saw some in the front. So there you go. Just thought I'd share that little update so that those people who don't know, it's like they're seeing it multiple times a day. Are they swarming out? Are they? Because new beekeepers, they don't know. They don't, and so that hive over there, that's my swarm. It's now called the peach hive, and I narrowed that down. The entrance. So initially I left that entrance all the way open, just so it was easier for those new girls. It's a new home. I just wanted to leave it open for them to easily find their way. So now they just got that little hole, which is perfect for the size of the hive. And as that hive becomes more populated, I'll expand that hole so that there's more room. By keeping that hole just the right size, I think they'll be less aggressive, less tense, trying to defend a hole, size of a hole that the hive just not big enough to protect. And that'll allow the other girls to, instead of a whole bunch of them hunking around in front trying to keep nefarious things out, they'll be in there doing their duties and getting things done, building comb, feeding the queen, building, taking care of the brood, managing things, or going out and getting food and bringing it on in. So I manage the entrances. So that one there, I had that mostly closed off this morning because it was cold last night. So Last night I reduced that entrance, and I didn't open that up all the way like that until I saw the activity was sufficient enough to do that. Oh, there's a big bumblebee messing with my bees. That's the first time I've seen them do that. I've got a lot of bumblebees around here, and I have never seen them do that, man. Oh my gosh, that looks like a female. Never seen that. Never seen them buzz my hive. Oh, I'll be doggone. She is still buzzing my hive? What? Yeah, this is my third season, and this is the first time ever. Look at that girl. That she is wanting to get in that hive. I have never seen that is so interesting to watch a bumblebee trying to get into my hive. That's a new one. I see new things all the time. It's like, what is that? So what I do, when I see something new, what I like to do is go into research mode. And I'll research, why is this happening? Why does that happen? It's like a little kid, you folks had kids, you have that one that's, well, they're actually, all mine were that way. Why is this? Why? And there's so many whys, and they would ask the same why for the same question over and over and over and over. I said, I just told you. Okay, no more whys for now. Let's take a why break. It's like, And so when I see something that brings on my curiosity, I'll go to the library and research that. I don't have to go to the library very far. It's usually in my pocket or somewhere or close by me. Oh, right now I'm using it to record me, so you kind of get the picture. So when I see a girl in the water, what I'll do is I'll reach around and grab a stick, and I stop using my fingers. I stopped using my fingers for a lot of things. And that's just one of them. And so I'll reach down and grab a stick. Now sometimes they're too big. I'll get a stick that I think that they'll climb on. Yeah, this one might work. And so when they're in the water, sometimes I get them just as they're about to drown. And so I put that stick right up against their body, and man, if they're still got any energy, they grab that stick immediately. And they hang on for literally for dear life. And I just bring them out, set them right there in front of the entrance, because there's heat coming out. And there's girls that all of a sudden start pecking at them, and, are you okay, Mary? Here, Mary, you need some food. Now they take care of each other. Yeah, they pass food back and forth all the time. You hungry? Here you go. I got extra stored. My carry-on bag is full. And so, I just thought I'd share that second swarm, navigational flight, 2 in one day. And I got my squirrel's going crazy over there, running along the fence over there. I got so many squirrels here. They're like, oh, there's another one. Chasing after his girlfriend. Got to find a girlfriend. Kind of like a drone bee. And I got all kinds of nature back here. I got snakes and salamanders. I pick up something, and there's a couple weeks back I was doing something in my front, moving something. And underneath that was baby salamanders, little tiny little critters. And I thought, boy, that's not safe for you to be underneath there. So I picked them up and I put them where I thought was safe in the strawberry patch, where along the driveway, because there's no walking or I don't do anything in there. There's no traffic on that. They were on an object that I could have stepped on it. They were underneath of it. And so, and then a few days later, I was watering in my driveway the strawberries. As I was watering, a snake jumped right up in the air. It was in the strawberries. It felt that cold water, and it literally propelled itself out of the air The shock of that cold water. It jumped up and it dove back in. It was funny. Yeah, I'm always picking up those snakes. I'm saving them sometimes from birds, so when they hatch out and the eggs hatch out, I've seen big groups of birds just carrying them away, the babies. They look like big, huge night crawlers. And so, what I do is, um, what I do is, I save their lives. Shoo away the birds, pick up the little babies, put them in safe places that I think is safer. Spread them out. Don't put them in. I don't put them in all in one place. And I'm gonna share one thing with you. Grape leaf, loaded with nutrients. Put it in your salads. What I did is I took it and I pureed them down, and I cubed them, and then I make like a grape tea. Yeah, grapevine. Same thing with strawberry leaves. I don't want to eat a whole bunch of strawberry leaves, so kind of cut them little pieces and put them in a salad. Kind of use those like chives, strawberry leaves. Yeah, they got some good stuff in them too. Strawberry leaves, grape leaves, strawberry leaves, raspberry leaves. Same thing with raspberry leaves. Don't do anything with the tomatoes. Just eat the tomatoes. Otherwise, yeah, that could go bad. Upset the tummy or worse. But there's a lot of things we can make into teas and put in salads that we never knew. Radish leaves. Oh yeah, I use radish leaves like I use lettuce. Radish leaves. Tastes like, I don't know, a little bit spicy like radish. Really flavorful. And yeah, things like that. Things like that, yeah. We just never knew, huh? Never knew. Things we never knew. Yeah, you got stuff growing around your yard, find out what it is and check out its nutrients. I'll let you watch these girls. Check out the nutrient contents on those things, and you'd be surprised what you can eat in your yard that's growing like weeds. Turn it into salads, or with your salad. And yeah, I don't know about blackberry leaf. I haven't investigated blackberry leaf. Those are really, I don't think I want to mess with them. Those blackberry leaves, even those have thorns on them. I don't want them. I don't care what the nutrients are. Putting a raspberry leaf in your mouth and you get a thorn in your gums or something, the bridge of your mouth. Yeah, got to draw a line somewhere on nature, eating nature. Isn't that crazy? This is the second full navigational flight within the last 4 hours. I think that's just, yeah, one got delayed. Hey, you guys didn't go out yesterday. You need to go out before the other girls. Yeah. So I'm still holding out hope for catch another swarm. There's still some signs of them coming in. I've seen them bouncing around my main hive here that you're looking at right now. In fact, there's one right now. She's up at the top, bouncing around at the top up there. She's right up there. Maybe you can see her. She's right underneath the lid. That is not mine. That is an illegal alien right there. Right at the top. She is illegal. She don't belong. She's trying to get in and see if she can get some free food. Because once they get in and get that food, they go tell the other girls. And next thing you know, you got thousands of them bouncing around your hive trying to get in. So I just taped up I put that blue tape up there this afternoon because they were trying so hard to get into the cracks, and some of those cracks were a little bit too much, and they were sticking the marauders were sticking their heads in those little tight cracks, and I was just thinking, man, those girls probably got some really bad headaches after about 20 minutes of doing that, trying to stick their head in the crack there. And she was chewing at the wood. So this girl was trying so hard to get in my hive up there, right below the handle of that super box up there where the blue tape is. there was a little section that was a little wider than the other sections, and she was just scraping up that wood, trying to make that little tiny hole bigger. And I said, okay, time to put the tape back on, because I took it off. And that tape right there pulls off really easy. That's just, yeah, that's that tape that just falls off. If you don't secure it right, it'll just fall off after a while. In fact, it fell off after I put it on. I had to like push it back on. And so I had to secure the connection with some duct tape. Because where I had it connected, where the two ends come together, it came disconnected, and it literally just kind of fell all over. So I had to go up there and put a piece of duct tape at the joint of the two pieces, and so far so good. I really want to leave that open because little cracks are good when it's hot, because it allows them to vent the heat and the moisture out better. In fact, I put nickels on the top of the lid. I put nickels on the corners so that they have some venting, but yet wasps and other marauders can't get in. But the problem with that is you can get earwigs that get in there, and other smaller bugs can get in. If you put that nickel or penny in the corners on your top board, on your lid, you can get spiders. I've seen spider up there today, and yeah, I'm thinking about taking that down, taking the nickels out. Maybe I already did. I don't remember now. Not sure, you know. And so I cleaned this water. So this water, I had that there for months, and we've had some hot days, and they weren't even buzzing that water at all. Not even once. Anytime I was sitting here or doing stuff around here, never seen not one single bee go in that water. It had red river rock, lava rock, and didn't see one girl ever go in there. So I took all that out, cleaned that out really good, filled it with some fresh water, not from a hose. You want to take it. It's best to get water from your faucet. That water from a hose has an odor, and they don't like it, and it may not be good for them. So I filled up some jugs, and I let them distill overnight, and I keep that handy. So when that gets low, when that watering hole for them gets low, I got a jug over here. Oh, there it is. I got one or two jugs here, and I just top it back off a little bit. And by putting the sticks on there, I noticed that the evaporation is really slow now. It lasts a lot longer by putting those sticks on there and creating like a shade. In fact, I think I'm going to put like a cover on the center, and that water will last a lot longer. Won't have to fill it quite as often. Just kind of put something on around the center, but leave the edges. I'll leave the edges so that they can still smell that water, because water gives off a certain moisture content in the air. They sense that, and they go right to the water when they're thirsty. It's good to have something like that, especially when it starts to get in the 90s and the hundreds, and because it gets up to 113. I was on my roof doing my roofing, replacing my shingles and big sections of my roof from water damage, and I was up there 113 degrees weather. What I did was I took a bucket of water, and when I would dunk my shirt in it, long sleeve shirt in there, and then I put that on, and then every time it would start to dry out, I'd dunk it and put it on again, and that's how I got through the 113 degree weather redoing my roof. I stayed cool, man. Yeah. Put on a wetsuit. Nice little breeze. It was okay on 113 degree weather doing my roof. Yeah, 113. There's that girl over there. You can see that girl in that yellow cap. She is the only one that eats that. She's got these wings that she spreads out, and she leaves them out. She leaves her wings out, and she doesn't tuck them in. She's a guard, and she no longer has to, because I reduced the entrance yesterday. She no longer has to roam around that front. Let's see if that's her. Oh, I don't know now. That might have been a marauder. I don't know. But earlier she was out there, the one with the wings. She keeps them out. She's the only one that keeps. I can always tell it's her because she's the only one that walks around with her wings spread wide out, side to side, sticking straight out from almost from the sides. And there is no other bee that I've ever seen do that. And she guarded the front of that entrance so well the last 7, 8 days, and she did it on her own. So I kept that cap full of sugar water for her. She'd come up, get some sugar, get re-energized, and go back and forth and inspecting every bee that was coming in and out. Let me see your multi-pass. Let me. Where's your ID? She would tap every bee. She would even accost the girls coming out. She didn't care. She wanted to inspect everybody going in and out. She did a really good job though, all by herself. That was amazing to watch. I didn't know that one bee would take up that full duty, and she would run back and forth that whole entrance, back and forth all day long, or at least every time I was here. I just have to assume if she's doing that every time I come back here, which was frequent when I transferred my hive. I just wanted to monitor and see how it's going. So anytime I was here, that girl's running back and forth, run up there, feeding the cap, run back and forth, inspect everybody. Where's your multi-pass? Go back, feed in the little yellow cap. So I kept that little yellow cap full just for her. She's the only one that's eaten out of it. I have not seen any other bees go in there and eat that sugar water except for her. The one with the spread out wings. Yeah, it's so funny. I'm thinking that because this is the first day, 24 hours, that I've had that door closed like that to where it's only about an inch wide. And so I'm thinking she's let her wings down, kind of like letting your hair down. She's kind of let her wings down, and she doesn't feel like, because now she doesn't really have to do that, cover the whole entrance. And so, but she remembers where that food is, so she comes out and she feeds on that food now and then. But only her. Only the wing spreader. She's the only one. The wing girl. Yeah. It's just interesting stuff to watch. I've watched bees take baths, play with toys, get really curious when I would change entrance in a very unusual way. Very uncommon. I'd watch them play with the entrance because I would make unique entrances. And I'd watch them just have fun with the entrances because it was so different. They never experienced it before, and they would play with it. They'd play tag back and forth with the entrances, tagging each other. Look at this, it's fun, right? Do bees enjoy and play? They're a very curious creature, and so yes, they love to play. They love to play. They like taking baths. I've watched them many take baths. The first time I seen it, I thought, oh, she's drowning. I think, okay, I got to get a stick, and I got to rescue this girl from herself. But I looked closer. And I thought, you know what? She's got a stick right next to her. All she needs to do is just grab it. And as I watched, I realized I was watching a bee take a bath. And then I watched her get the stick. She climbed out, ruffled her feathers, and groomed herself a little bit. And I'll be doggone if she didn't do a swan dive right back in that water. Flipped on her back, flushing her wings around, taking a bath. No, she wasn't taking a bath. She was going for a swim, man. She was swimming. I'll be swimming. Yeah, this is fun. It was a hot day, and yeah, I imagine that felt pretty good. Those girls who were smart enough to go in and learn how to swim and take a bath, not be afraid of the water, I guess those are the ones that, enjoy taking a swim. And she certainly did. And I've seen other girls do the same thing. Thinking, oh, here's another one, Then I'd go, nah, just a minute. She can get out if she wants to. And sure enough, another one was there taking a bath. Not even a bath. Well, maybe a bath and a swim at the same time, right? They're hitting two birds with one stone. Cooling down, cleaning off, just swimming around in the water and having fun. I literally have watched them do what we would refer to as dog paddling. I would watch them equivalency of dog paddling in and around the water, they'd hit the stick, push away from the stick, and go back up into open ocean. And then they would dog paddle back to the stick, push off on the stick, and go back up, go back out into the open ocean. It's like, what the? I just find that, learning those things, observing nature, and never really thinking about that stuff, and my whole life, and then learning the nuances of us creatures' behavior that we never even paid attention to. I find that entertaining. I enjoy the experience of witnessing something I never imagined even happened or never occurred. So anyway, please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell. If you think of this as like going to a restaurant and leaving a tip, leave me a tip, please. Subscribe, thumbs up, and same as a tip. It's the same as a tip. It's just this one don't cost you any money, not even a penny. You just tap subscribe button and tap the bell. Leave a comment, thumb me up. I'd appreciate that. I do all kinds of videos on all kinds of different things. And some of them you might find entertaining or interesting or curious. You go, what is that boy doing? No. What is he saying? That boy's full of biku. Biku? Is that like Roku? I don't think so. Bipu. So, yeah, and so, have a good day now. I'll keep you updated on when I get a swarm, if I get a swarm. Could get a swarm, maybe get a swarm. Wish I get a swarm. I wish upon a star. Where's that leprechaun? And that gold at the end of at the bottom of the rainbow. For me, it's catching a swarm. I'm gonna try to catch as many as I can this year. I was gonna do splits, make a bunch of new hives, but I'm thinking, man, with all this kind of bee activity that's acting like they're gonna come in, I'm thinking, not only that, but I was thinking at the same time, I was thinking, I just got my first hive through a whole year, and I'm well past a year for the first time, and I'm thinking, should I jump right into a bunch of hives and learning how to manage a bunch of hives, or should I get maybe just 2 or 3 hives and get good at managing that quantity, right? 2, 3, maybe 4 hives. Get good at managing that into a whole season, through a whole 12-month or plus. And once I feel comfortable with that quantity of beehives, being able to manage them efficiently and well, and actually really well, and getting them through and keeping them through the seasons and keeping them healthy and making sure I got all of my equipment that I need for that many hives that's going to keep them all hive and not put them at risk. So I'm thinking, just go into the fall with 3 or 4 hives, even if it's only 2, and seeing how comfortable I feel with getting 2 or 4 hives for the whole season cycle, all the season cycle through the winter, spring, summer, fall. See how I manage that efficiently enough. See if I can manage that efficiently enough to where I can say, okay, I know exactly what I need to do. Now I'm going to prepare all these other things and do my bees, because I'm successful now. I'm going to do all my bees that I split now or catch just like that, because it works. It works just fine. I feel good, and now I'm ready to go. And there you go. Subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, and I'll keep you updated on the possible swarms. 2 navigational flights, big ones, in one day. Because of yesterday, they swarmed a little yesterday, not much. All right, bye now.